You don't realize it yet, but the silence you run from is the very thing that could rebuild you. You think you're wasting time by staying home, but the truth is far more brutal. The world outside is loud enough to drown out your failures, while your home is quiet enough to expose them. And that's exactly why you need it. You've been conditioned to believe that movement equals progress, that busyness equals purpose, that leaving your home somehow makes you more alive. But the Stoics knew the opposite. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man's greatness begins the moment he learns to command his own mind. The world outside gives you excuses, validation, distraction. Home gives you nowhere to hide. And that's why it's powerful. When you stay home intentionally, without running, without escaping, without numbing, you confront the roots of your fears, your habits, your unmet potential. That confrontation is uncomfortable, but it is also the birthplace of self-mastery, discipline, and inner strength. Today, I'll show you why staying home on purpose, with discipline, with clarity, might be the most transformative decision you ever make, and why it's the quiet places that shape the loudest men. Number 1. Staying home forces you to face the parts of yourself you've avoided for years. You're so used to running, to noise, to people, to temporary excitement, that you forget what it feels like to sit with your own thoughts. But when you stay home voluntarily, the illusions dissolve. You start noticing the habits that weaken you, the fears you hide behind productivity, the emotional wounds you've never addressed. This is why so many men fear stillness. It exposes who they truly are without the mask they wear outside. Epictetus taught that no man is free until he confronts himself. When you stay home with intention, you reclaim control over your mind instead of outsourcing your identity to the world. And through that uncomfortable confrontation, you begin to rebuild a stronger, calmer, more grounded version of yourself, one that no longer needs escape to feel whole. Number 2. Home becomes the training ground where you sharpen the discipline the outside world destroyed. Out there, everything is engineered to distract you. Notifications, people, noise, endless stimulation. But inside your home, the battlefield is internal. It's you versus your impulses. You versus your procrastination. You versus the weaker parts of yourself that crave comfort more than growth. Seneca believed that discipline wasn't built in moments of chaos, but in the quiet preparation a man commits to when no one is watching. Home is where that preparation happens. Every small act, waking early, reading, working on your craft, refusing to scroll mindlessly, becomes a weapon you forge in silence. And the discipline you build alone becomes the discipline that elevates you everywhere else. Because once you master yourself at home, the world outside becomes easier, clearer, and far less intimidating. Number 3. Staying home protects your energy from people who drain your focus and weaken your spirit. You underestimate how much noise comes from others, their opinions, their expectations, their judgments, their insecurities, disguised as advice. When you step outside too often, you absorb these energies without realizing it. But home gives you a sanctuary where your mind recalibrates to its natural state. Marcus Aurelius constantly retreated into himself to regain clarity, reminding himself that the opinions of others were nothing more than passing wind. When you stay home intentionally, you reclaim sovereignty over your attention. You stop living as a reaction. You stop explaining yourself. You stop being pulled into the chaos of people who do not share your values. And in that quiet preservation of energy, you build the mental strength to engage with the world on your terms, not theirs. Number 4. Your home becomes the forge where your long-term goals finally take shape without interruption. Every dream requires deep work, focused, undistracted, consistent. But most people never give themselves the environment to do that work. They're always out, always busy, always looking for something to fill the silence. Staying home gives you the one thing high-level goals demand: sustained attention. Seneca said that a man who splits himself between too many pursuits ends up achieving none. But when you create a focused environment at home, your workspace, your routines, your rituals, you give your goals a place to grow. The outside world operates in chaos. Your home becomes order. And the man who learns to work deeply in silence becomes unstoppable in public. Number 5. Staying home strengthens your emotional resilience by removing artificial comfort. Outside, pleasure is everywhere. Food, entertainment, social validation, constant stimulation. These things feel good, but they weaken you over time. They create dependency. They make your mind fragile. When you stay home, you remove the easy dopamine hits, and your system resets. You learn to sit with boredom. You learn to create your own joy instead of seeking it from the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should stand straight, not be held straight. In the quiet of your home, you learn to stand straight. You learn to cultivate emotional stability that isn't dependent on noise or novelty. And when you step outside again, you carry a calmness that can't be shaken, because you no longer rely on external pleasure to feel alive. Number 6. Home is where you rebuild your identity without society's influence shaping who you think you should be. Most people don't realize how much of their personality is borrowed. The way they speak, dress, behave, dream, it all comes from what they absorb from others. But staying home gives you space to ask the questions you've ignored. Who am I without the world's noise? What do I actually want? What values matter to me, not to them? Epictetus believed that true strength comes from knowing your own nature, not performing for others. When you stay home, you strip away the performance. You rediscover your real identity. And once you know who you are in silence, you become unshakable in public. Number 7. Staying home teaches you the highest Stoic skill, mastery over your reactions. When you are constantly outside, constantly overstimulated, constantly navigating unpredictable environments, your emotions run on autopilot. You react without thinking. You absorb stress without processing it. But home gives you the space to slow down your internal world, to observe your emotions instead of being ruled by them. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to pause before reacting, to let the first impulse pass, and to respond with intention instead of instinct. Staying home builds this muscle. You learn patience, you learn calmness, you learn emotional clarity. And the man who controls his reactions controls his destiny. When you step back into the world, you engage with authority, not anxiety, because you've trained your mind in the quiet spaces where true mastery is born. Staying home is not isolation. It's incubation. It's where real growth begins, where discipline is sharpened, where clarity forms, where your mind finally has the space to breathe. Most men fear staying home because they fear meeting the version of themselves they've ignored. The one who knows the truth, the one who exposes every weakness, every excuse, every lie you've been telling yourself. But the Stoics embraced this confrontation. Marcus Aurelius retreated into silence to strengthen his mind. Seneca withdrew from society to study himself. Epictetus taught men to detach from the external world so they could master the internal one. And you, right now, are standing on the threshold of that same transformation. Staying home intentionally builds a man who is disciplined, self-respecting, emotionally controlled, and spiritually grounded. It strips away the noise and leaves only the truth. And once you face that truth, once you build strength in silence, once you become powerful in your solitude, you become unstoppable everywhere else. Because the man who conquers his home conquers himself, and the man who conquers himself conquers the world. Let the world chase noise. Let the world chase distraction. You are building something different, something quieter, something stronger, something unbreakable. A powerful man is forged in silence and revealed only when the world least expects it.